Well boys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be installing the full FCS all-wheel drive conversion kit for my Honda. And the all-wheel drive conversion is just one of the many things that we're doing on this chassis. This is a full chassis up restoration. In the last video, you guys saw us finish up our paint job on this entire chassis, interior and exterior, in the gorgeous OEM Captivia Blue. Now I realized I completely forgot to show you guys in detail how this car looks. But with that being said, let's give you guys a quick montage. Now this car looks absolutely amazing, as it's really a brand new chassis and will be a brand new chassis because everything on this car is getting replaced. And today we're starting off by installing this gorgeous FCS all-wheel drive kit. We also had a few more parts show up as well. Unfortunately, we will not be able to install these today. This will be in a later video. But here's an idea of how far I am going with this build. We have a full custom chassis harness with my PDM. We have a custom engine harness. We are going to be running a Haltech with the IC7 display. We are running all of the goodies. This car is going to be badass. But let's go ahead and start unboxing this. Oh, this is so exciting. Our rear brakes. Oh, there's so many goodies in here. Our brake pads. Oh, these are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, take a look. Now this is where things get a lot more expensive. Not only did the FCS conversion kit cost a good amount of money, but the other added expense is I needed to buy the diff, the viscous, and the drive shaft so I can actually have a properly working all-wheel drive kit. This diff and viscous cost me $4,000. Ugh. Gross. It's dirty. On some gloves. Wow, this is goofy. I have no idea how this thing works. I feel like I'm missing some components here. I think I have one more box showing up because, yeah, I don't have my drive shaft either. Darn. We don't need the viscous today though. But let's go ahead and open up, I think, our last and final package for today's episode at least, which is gonna be our Skunk 2 coilovers. This is actually my first set of coilovers I have ever bought in. I've never bought in coilovers. I bought an air suspension, but this is my first time ever buying coilovers. That's kind of fun. Also, it took me so long to find a coilover I ran, and the only reason I ran Skunk 2 is because it was a neutral color. Every other coilover option for this is either like bright red, purple, just some crazy poppy color. And since I don't know what my accents, wait, what? These are red. In the photo, they were like gray. I'm annoyed. I'm actually annoyed. But let's go ahead and start bolting this thing up and doing all of the modification required to get this thing to fit. Now with this installation process, there is quite a bit more modification than I initially anticipated for, as I did not do any research on the all-wheel drive before I went ahead and of course painted my entire chassis and recoated the entire underneath. So I guess after we install this, we're gonna have to take it apart so we can fix up all of the areas I have to cut, modify, and etc. Which I need to take this apart anyway, because after I install this today, I need to go ahead and remove the diff, take this apart, take the viscous apart, as I'm getting all of this stuff coated. All right, so as you guys can see here, imagine this is the rear end of the car. This is going to fit, well, just like that. All right, well now we can go ahead and start doing our first bit of modification. As you guys can, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see. The part that needs modifying is right here. As you guys can see, this bracket is sitting in the way. We need to go ahead and notch a good chunk out of here. That way we can actually get this diff brace mounted onto the chassis. This pains me so much. But will this mount actually fit now? Honestly, I'm gonna say no, that it needs to get trimmed more. Here we go, we just got all of this cut out. We're most definitely need to go back through after we get all of this installed and weld everything. We're gonna have to cut into here as well. So it's a good thing we have to take this apart anyway, as I'm not gonna leave it gross like this. So now let's go ahead and bolt the diff up to the brace, and then we'll have to bolt this up as well. This will go something like that on top. And then we can start putting this into position. There's gonna be one more cut or a few more cuts we need to do somewhere along here in the spare tire well. I'm not quite sure. And then we're gonna leave this loose so we can adjust where we need to have it. And now we can pick this thing up and bring it over for our first mock-up here. All right. Okay. If any one of you guys want a piece of my Honda, I got you. All right, now let's see if our baby cut was enough for clearance. No? What? Oh my goodness, dude. All right, let's see if this will fit now. There we go. All right, that's a relief. Now that we have the diff able to fit in here, we're gonna go ahead and remove all of the bracing, hook it all back up, and then place it back in because we do still need to drill in for the front bar. Jeez. All right, boys, it is now the next day. Last night, I was struggling like crazy to get the diff mounted in the proper position. The issue I was running into is the bar would not move up any higher, and we are still about 1/2 inch to 1 inch away from the mounting points, and I couldn't get this to move any further. And after reaching out to FCS, Jason, who has been extremely helpful with this whole process, told me that these spacers are for the CRV diff, not the Wagovan. Of course, every video I watched with this installation was people using the CRV diff, so I replicated everything they did in that video, and I didn't need to. So now what we need to go ahead and do is try to get this thing removed, as it is just stuck in there as I mallet it in. But we're gonna get this removed, remove the spacers, and this should now sit properly. It is a little unfortunate, as I did have to cut up this spare tire well to get it to fit with the spacer, which wasn't supposed to be on there. In hindsight, I don't know. We're gonna have to cut it all open anyway, because if I wanna service this diff very easily, because I am welding this front bar on, so I'm not able to drop everything together anymore, I still do need to cut all of this out, build a box. That way we can access these bolts from inside. All right, we just went ahead and removed the diff. The brace is still in here. And just to show you guys how stuck in I got this, I can just hang off of this. I'm just, now granted, I'm not a heavy dude. I'm like 145, but this is in here. Well, this is the closest we've ever been. Let's get this mallet. Lifting the whole car again. I'm curious to see how far off our fuel cell is gonna be. Because this is pretty much the position. Okay, fuel cell will fit. All right, boys, let's get to some more cutting here. I'm sorry. I should probably change my wheel. This hurts me so much, guys. But don't worry, this is gonna be super badass after we fix all of this. Oh my goodness, all right. Now, I don't know if I've shown you guys, but the reason I'm cutting this out is one, I'm welding the brace onto the chassis, so I won't be able to pull it all out together. I won't be able to access these bolts. So cutting this open, I am going to be able to weld in this box on the inside with those two access points. So I'll still be able to service, remove the diff if I need to, and it'll look great on the inside after we, of course, have to repaint, weld, all of that fun stuff. And then all of this on the bottom will be boxed in, so it'll look fantastic. I know this kind of looks like a ginormous mess right now, but trust me, this car is going to look gorgeous. I'm now trying to decide if I want to cut this out wider. It's really hard because I don't have the box with me. I don't want to make it too wide because then the box won't fit, but I don't want to make it too small because I'd like to take advantage of all of the free space. And of course, it does not show any measurements on here. So we're going to have to just kind of cross our fingers here. Worst case, we could always build a custom box, but this box is like 150 bucks. So, and material is expensive for aluminum. All right, let's go ahead and pop this diff in here for like the thousandth, I can't even speak, thousandth, goodness. You get what I'm trying to say. We've put this in more times than I can count right now. Granted, I can't really count at all right now, but this is getting very old. This can't be. It fits. Oh wait, maybe not yet, a little higher. No way. No way. Everything fits. I'm curious to see how this looks on the inside. That's pretty badass. All right, now that we have everything finally into position, we're gonna go ahead and hard mount the rear brace and kind of start assembling everything else on here to make sure everything fits. Get the fuel cells bolted up, get the trailing arms, control arms, and all of that fun stuff. There we go. There we go. Oh, this one fits a lot easier. Weird. All right, this is kind of like a big old puzzle here. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by installing the trailing arm on the lower control arm and then assemble everything from there. That is what all of these are for. This goes to the chassis. And then I believe these will connect to the top up here. But let's go ahead and get this bolted on. Now here's the dilemma that I'm running into right now and have been facing putting this together. As you guys know, I sent all my bolts out to go zinc plated as I want everything to look gorgeous on this chassis. I am several bolts short and I have no idea where they are because all of the bolts for the diff, you have to use the factory ones, and that is going to be the same for your control arm stuff. And I don't have them. That goes in. This goes on. That goes on. That goes back in. And it goes something like that. What's that washer here for? There's one. Obviously, there's going to need to be some suspension tweaks, but let's throw in the coilover. Slide into place. Put the bolt through. This is so cool seeing this come together. Granted, this kind of has to all come apart anyway, but we're getting a very good idea. This has to be one of the most complex suspension setups I've seen. I'll show you guys why I say that in a little bit here, but the adjustability on here is absolutely insane. Yeah, this is crazy. This is a pretty badass kit, FCS. I bet dialing in the suspension is going to be a nightmare though. This is getting me so beyond excited, guys. Just take a look at how this rear end looks. It is so menacing looking. It is like the most complex suspension system and it is so cool. Let's go ahead and pop in our rear suspension, kind of get a visual idea of what this is gonna look like. Most of the stuff does have to come apart again. I can't put the wheel bearings or anything in yet because I'm still getting some powder coat work done and I am waiting on some extended lugs or studs to show up as I don't want to run short studs. I want to have long studs. So I need to wait for those. It's going to be a million times easier doing with this out before we press this in, or else it's going to be kind of a nightmare. But this is coming together. And for the suspension, we are running Skunk 2 coilovers. Now in the beginning of the video, a couple days ago, I told you guys I bought coilovers very specific because of the color. And it turns out after doing some research on my order, I bought the wrong ones. That is why these ones are red. The ones I meant to buy were the drag series, but these ones are a little bit better. I'm just gonna go ahead and get the springs powder coated. weld this here. This is insane. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Oh, this is so cool. Last pieces. These fuel cells are going to look insane in here. I've mocked it up already, but let's see this thing.
And well, boys, here we go. This looks absolutely insane. Oh. So a quick recap on today's video. We installed the full FCS conversion kit. This is their entire kit with the FCS stock location fuel cells, and I got both of them. Normally people will run one, but I wanted the extra fuel capacity, so that is why I went with both. We installed the Wago Van differential and the Skunk 2 coilovers, and I mean, this looks so good. There we go, guys. We now have our all-wheel drive system hooked up to this car. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.